guys, welcome to the Faith Feed podcast, brought to you by Sitamgong Youth.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have very good hosts, very cool hosts, very beautiful hosts. On the far corner, please state your name.
Hi guys, my name is Sandra Kiribe.
The host of the
Mhm.
most,
The
Michael
host of the most.
Baraka.
My name is Ingrid.
And I am your host, Hansel Jones. And wow, we have so much for you guys throughout this podcast. We have many episodes for you. Kindly tune in, and yeah, you're gonna be elated. Kizungu tamu hiyo.
Elated. Najua umegoogle saa hii, lakini sawa.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
For today's video, we will be talking about the international. Hey!
International.
Oh, come on,
wetu.
Amen. Oh, amen.
Oh.
I'm speaking.
I'm flying.
Intentional dating leading to marriage. So, my first question to everyone here: have you ever been in a relationship,
Ay.
Define a relationship.
or should I ask the other way around? Have you never been in a relationship?
Define the word
being.
never.
Ah.
Okay.
Hey. Okay.
Define
have you ever been in a
everyone.
relationship? I mean romantic relationships.
Wow,
Like
wow.
girl,
Yes.
boy relationships.
The normal.
Yeah.
Female, male.
The normal.
Female, male.
You know,
Female. She, her, he, him.
He, him. See they, them.
Yeah.
he, him. Not,
Alright,
not them.
Just
Single.
to
Yeah.
be clear.
Ah,
Have you?
have we? That's a good question.
Start
That's a very good
Jones.
question. Have I ever been
Come.
in one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in one.
Oh, come on.
And-
Mm.
Marco.
Kitambo
Good
before.
for you.
Oh, are you in one now?
No.
Okay. Sielewi why we are laughing, but
It's tough out
Have
here.
I been in a relationship? Have I been in a relationship? Romantic one, yes.
yes.
Many.
Okay.
Si moja. Trial and error.
Try that.
Yes,
Sandra.
I have also
Oh.
been
You
in a
have.
romantic relationship
You
before.
have. So I had to confirm before we start getting into the questions. So if I was to ask, what does intimacy in a relationship look like to you?
Holding hands. Looking into each other's eyes intently.
Eyeball to
Gazing.
eyeball.
Gazing.
Mm.
Eyeball
Gazing.
to eyeball.
Getting lost in the
Nose
eyes.
to nose.
Palm to palm.
Nose to nose kidogo.
Ah,
Oh.
hey.
Intimacy to me as a Christian, or to me just as Baraka, or to me in general.
Are you separated from your Christianity?
Is Baraka not a Christian?
Unajua
That you eat?
fanya
Yeah,
tafikiria
we
vingine. Yeah, as Baraka, intimacy to me, I think for me intimacy isn't the physicalities of a relationship, it's the conversations
Mhm.
in a relationship, the candid and honest conversations that people can have in a relationship. Because when you're dating someone, you ought to be honest.
Mm.
You ought to be open with them, and that openness to me, you being vulnerable to me as your boyfriend, as your partner, to
Mm.
me that is more intimate than even holding hands.
Mm.
Yeah, that's more intimate than what would describe today as intimacy. Kissing, etc.
Mhm.
For me, I think having honest, open conversations with your partner is more intimate than any other thing to me.
Sasa mimi nitasema nini?
Manze,
Okay, Sandra, let's hear from you.
gendo wa mwisho.
Intimacy to me is, I think, almost the same thing as Baraka. Openness, but also vulnerability and honesty. I think, basically, I think I value honesty more. So I think if you're honest with me, that's the highest, in quotes, form of intimacy. Yeah.
Okay. Hansel Jones.
Kulingana na mimi, niko na maoni kweli. But intimacy, from what I perceive, is that level of understanding between two individuals, you know. Especially in that romantic space, there's that high level of understanding. Whereby I understand your flaws, you understand my flaws, you understand my highs, I understand your lows and your highs. So, same as what you said, Baraka, conversations, because understanding also comes through, you know, also conversations.
True.
You opening up to me and telling me, you know, by the way, I'm like this and this. And that you reach levels of closeness that are not shared with just anybody else. So, yeah, that's how I would define it.
So what I'm getting from you is access to a person that no one else has.
Yeah.
But not physical access.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean,
Mhm.
A, Stop
Lazima-
twisting
lazima.
my words.
Yeah,
People at
we-
home.
Familia.
we
To
must-
be told.
we
Like
must-
having
Yeah.
access.
Yeah.
By
Kijiji.
access, I mean
Mm.
in the sense that maybe you're the only person who knows where this person is.
Mm.
Ama
Yeah.
you're the only person who knows this person is going through so in this particular thing. Or you're
Mm.
the only person who knows when this person laughs in public. Ama when they act a particular way, you know that there's something they're hiding. You know,
Yeah.
They're faking that laugh.
like no, that's what I mean by access. So
Mm.
that's what you mean by intimacy.
Yes.
So, you had mentioned stuff about physical intimacy as well. That
Mm.
is mostly happening right now
Yes.
in our generation.
Yeah.
So I would like to follow up a question to that.
Mm.
How far is too far,
Well,
according to you?
According to me.
According to.
Mm.
Hmm.
The belief system.
Let's start with you, and then we go to others.
I think when someone asks, when someone asks the question, "How far is too far?" they have already gone too far.
Mm.
Mm.
That's my belief. Because you're asking that question only to gauge what I think, what you think,
Yeah.
what you think, what you think, so that I can
Mm.
see, hey, maybe I've gone too far, or maybe since you're okay with it,
Mm.
cross
the
boundaries, kaende
Yeah.
kaende. You get. But according to me, I think when it comes to dating, yes, the Bible isn't clear. You get, in terms of how we ought to conduct ourselves while dating, how we ought to behave, but it is clear on how I should be as a person, my morality, isn't it? As Baraka, these are the commands that you ought to follow, and I think we should also apply those in a dating relationship, whereby sexual intimacy is a sin outside of marriage.
Mm.
And even in marriage, if you go outside of marriage, it is still a sin. It is between a married couple, a married male and female couple, not as they identify. they were born like that. Because in this day and age, we have to clarify. Because you can say married and say, see me, I love a guy and the guy loves me, so we can enjoy ourselves. No,
Mm.
it's not the case. So for me, but now when it comes to a dating aspect of it, according to me, yes, the Bible clearly outlines that sex is bad,
Mm.
that sex is a sin outside of marriage. To me, how far is too far? For me, in my relationships, I haven't kissed any of my partners. Inakwanga ngumu kuamini. Inakwanga impossible kuamini. But
Mm.
for me, I haven't kissed any of my partners. I know of a couple that while they were dating, they didn't ever hug. Because for them that was too far. Angeenda kuhug dem yake, Jesus space. Shanga, sasa ijini nini? Hizi ni kukazia ndugu, hata hug jameni. Watajuaje wewe ni wangu? Watajuaje anyway? But I think for me hugging is okay, holding hands is okay.
Mm.
But kissing hata kwa forehead, kwa cheek, hiyo mimi may draw a very big line, like
For you.
for me that one,
Mm.
because
Mpaka you may now kiss the bride. Mpaka you time.
exactly.
Mm.
Because for me, maybe I'm old school or not, but for me, I believe when I go down that road, it will be easier to sleep with someone, because unaona ni kama hurdles tu una pass.
Mm.
Today, kitambo hugging was very wrong.
Eh.
When our parents were growing up, atunapotu kihag kijana wa nani?
Aha.
Huyo kijana unajua kwanza ni mvuta bangi, ni mlevi, unamhag mbona?
Hata
Forget.
sio kijiji yetu.
Hata sio kijiji yetu. You get? Wanaume wachana na wao. You get? Like in our society, like our parents grew like that.
Mm.
But for us, hugging isn't a big deal. You get?
Pale
Hata mtu
campus.
akikupea mkono unashangaa,
unashangaa,
wewe.
Kwani
There's a time
like uzee huko.
when I was dating, and this is how I am. When I'm dating someone,
Mm.
I don't hug other ladies. For me,
Mm.
when I'm dating someone, I don't hug other ladies.
Hata on a side.
Hata na side.
Wow.
If I've ever
Meant
noticed.
to be like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn something. Learn
Ni
something.
mimi tu,
Angalia.
mimi sisema mkwe kama mimi, mimi nasema tu ni mimi. Because I think a hug should be, for me, I feel like a hug is also a form of intimacy between me and my partner, whereby I have to distinguish her from others. You get? So when I'm dating someone, I won't hug any other woman apart from the person I'm dating. For her, she can hug whomever she wants because this ini policy tu yangu. Si policy yetu. You get ini policy yangu. But when I'm dating someone, when I'm not dating, I'll hug everyone. You get
So tuangalie kitu if Baraka
I want to know I'm dating. Ukiwataki kupa mkono, wewe jua tu. Mimi na soko. Tumeachana hivi. Kama maji na mafuta. But for me I think kissing hapo tumefika mwisho. Kwa hata kwa people say kwa forehead hapana, kwa cheek hapana. Hii si movie tena kiss kwa forehead good night. Kwambia hey good night. Bas.
Unamwanoint kwa
hiyo si ni time. Yeah, so kissing for me.
Yes, Santa.
I think too far for me is
Usiogope juu Baraka ameongea.
Baraka shasema.
Set the bar too high.
Hiyo ni mimi tu.
Bibi yako ni handshake.
Kwa ni gota.
I think same. Venye amesema ukishaanza kuuliza if it's too far, yeah, like hapo. But I think we live in a society where we have normalized sexual immorality. So I usually tell myself that you can't love God and fornicate. I know people don't msinikuje, but like awezi by the way, like the Bible is just against those things, and I feel like anything that's venye tu Baraka amesema hiyo kiss kwa forehead kuma. I don't know, just like experience, but like
ya kiss yako forehead.
Ni mosquito tu.
But as in hata menifani lose.
Pole.
Too personal, guys.
Okay, noted. So we go to Hansel or
yeah.
Hansel.
Yeah.
Take it.
Mosquito person.
Hey. First of all, how far is too far? When your heart is in jeopardy, that's too far already. When not your heart, ya mapenzi. Mnaongelea the heart Christ was addressing, like you pitch someone on the mount. And that heart already tells you that flee. Listen to it and flee. You know, you as Christians sometimes we want to justify, Bible says, don't fornicate. But me nimemkiss too. Need to kumguza waist, but then the devil is a lie. I don't say a good lie because he says in pure credit. But he begins small, begins in very slight movements. Today you begin holding hands. It's just okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Holding hands, it's okay. The following day, inafika hivi, you want to put your hand over the shoulder as you're walking. You have to, establish your territory.
Yeah. Protection.
As a man, you have to eka your fence. You have to put your spear in front of the nini. You must be seen. So then, kiasi the following day, it's your hand over the waist. Kiasi, you want to have private meetings in your parents' house, Wameenda ushago, babes, kuja hivi kidogo to watch nini Passion of Christ.
Come on.
Uko specific. Uko specific.
Mimi na attack.
Hajidefend na attack watu hajidefend.
So then it begins with, kuja to watch Passion of Christ. Need to watch sana kwa church. Come to watch Netflix. Kidogo, you
Never have I ever.
Nini. Kidogo, truth or dare, then you sleep. Then now you come and say, hey, it was a mistake. Oops. They say, oops. So how far is too far is when your heart, because if you're a Christian, I believe your heart is guided by God. Yeah. So God will tell you, my son, hold these boundaries. It is good for you.
Yeah.
But then as men, sometimes inaingilia hapa, natokelea hapa. God nimekusikia lakini next time. Next time. Acha nitapostpone hiyo kusikiza.
Next week.
Appointment.
Next week.
So how far is too far is when your heart starts being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Madam.
Na wewe.
Unatuliza tu maswali.
Kwani hii podcast ni yako peke yako?
Defend.
Umekuwa
Sasa-
aggressive, I'm so sorry.
Nimeattack we defend.
I'll second Sandra on how she was saying. Like at the point somebody okay and Barak as well. At the point someone is asking you that question, I feel like they have already they are planning to cross that threshold. Like wanakupima akili. Nataka kujua if I do this and this, are you fine with it? You know, like what is your boundary? And you know, as a lady, per se, ama as a Christian, when somebody comes to you with such a question, I think it's very important to just be very clear about your boundaries and hold yourself at in a high regard because you know what you want at the end of everything. And clearly, you wouldn't have boundaries if you didn't have a goal at the end of this life. Because we are here for one particular reason.
Yes.
To serve Christ, be in the world, praising Him,
Yeah.
worshiping
Serving Him.
all of
What's
those
up?
things. So I would say
Copy paste. My
We
bad.
best. Mwakenya.
Alikuwa amenicopy.
Copy
And
paste, copy paste.
tulidiscuss
Presidential
about
debate.
this. Yeah. So now to add on that, how do you maneuver in relationships right now without all of these things? Like how do you, because most people would be like, fine, Baraka said he can't kiss her, ama he can't do this and do this and do this. So it must be a very boring relationship.
Very
You-
well.
Like,
Hey,
kuna
wow.
mtu atakwambia hivyo ajembe tu, me I can't date him. You know why? It will be boring.
High fives.
So how do you maneuver in such relationships where you are pure together pursuing marriage? How do you maneuver, even with temptation, even with people talking about you, or because of course people will judge. There's not a thing you'll do in this world where people will not talk about you or people will not judge you, even if they don't say it directly. But like, how do you maneuver? It's a question to all of you.
Okay.
To all of us, rather.
Usually tell people this. Usually tell them, especially people who are in the world and are dating, I tell them that if you remove sexual intimacy from your relationships, your relationship have no foundation. Like if you remove that, like they have nothing to fall back to because their main aim where they're together is for sexual intimacy. You get? So when you remove that, then you're left with a shell of a relationship. That's why most world relationships fail, because that need has a limit. You get? That need will never whether it will either be satisfied to a certain extent and then you find someone else who satisfies you better, or it will never be satisfied and you'll always have problems in a relationship. So for us, or for me as a Christian, I think one, you approach a relationship prayerfully. You prayed to have a girlfriend or to have a boyfriend, and God granted you that opportunity. Or you prayed to have a spouse or a future spouse, and God granted you that opportunity. Then pray during your relationship. Like, do not remove the aspect of prayer, the aspect of devotion, the aspect of living godly, because these things will always point you back to God. Even in days whereby you're in a room alone, since you have been prayerful about your relationship, since you have been walking in the right path, it will be very hard for you to veer off. It will be very hard for you to say, tuko peke yetu. You get since that voice has consistently been in your head, working in you, God has consistently been working in you and sanctifying you, then it will be very hard for you to go astray. So yeah, maneuver prayerfully, continue with your daily devotions. If you don't have, start one. I think it grows a relationship, because whatever our foundation is the word of God, and if we leave that alone, then we have nothing. As Christians, we have that's all we have. That's our greatest treasure, isn't it? And the Bible says, store up your treasure in heaven, for where your treasure is, your heart also shall be, isn't it? So if your highest treasure is in heaven, then you indulging in any sin with your partner will be a very foreign idea. You get? Yes, we can say that people can label Christian relationships as boring because we don't go to clubs. Ukienda club si kesha. Unaget, yani waki watch Netflix, Passion of Christ. Like us, we are far from the norm, but they still can be beautiful, because again they lead to marriage. And when you understand the institution of marriage, seeing how Christ loved the church, and how Christ died for the church, how Christ gave himself up for the church, and one day I as a husband will do that for my partner. And this is a beautiful thing, like putting another person's life above mine and caring for them in that particular capacity. For me, that makes it beautiful. Like the end result makes it more beautiful to remain pure, to remain holy, to remain sanctified, and to still walk this difficult journey of remaining pure and knowing that one day ultimately we'll enjoy these freedoms, but not today. Yeah. You can mesema kitu ya maana.
Sasa kupiga makofi. Kesho.
Manze jo sijini bebe hii mic na now home sasa.
Shasema yote.
Sijui hata tufungie tu hapa.
Shasema.
Anything to add on that?
I think also boundaries. Generally.
Yeah, true.
Ukishaanza, just to know we are setting these boundaries for me and you. Yeah, that also helps as you grow your prayer life.
Like,
also,
don't have gray areas. It's either black or white.
Let me ask, if I set a boundary with my partner and aseme boundary ni kubwa sana. Na but nampenda. Nampenda.
Out of how many billion people in the world?
Unajua ni ngumu kupata boss, yeah?
Kuna
Ni
mbio.
ngumu.
si rahisi.
Murive. Kuna mbio.
Hapana. But umeombea, for example, like useme kama kissing, kwa kwangu kissing ni tufa. Kwa kissing oni ni shida.
Make her understand. Money him.
Tulisema intimacy is about also understanding.
Yeah.
So
and now what if I am amesema manze mbona, so the question is why should they compromise and not I compromise? Why should they not engage in that? Mami tu nikubali.
You know, there's something I saw on that actually, and it was China. It's an actress. She was talking about it. She was saying it was a matter of people were asking her, why do you, like, it was a video she was responding to. People were talking about, why do you force Christianity down our throats, like you talk about Jesus, nini. Akwambia, it's the same thing as her dad used this analogy on her and she never thought different. So you've come to my house and we're in my room chilling, you know? And then I tell you, let me go check on my dog. It's in the backyard.
Watu wako na backyard.
Yeah, it's in the backyard.
Huko tu nje, backyard.
Huko shamba ni backyard.
Kwa shamba.
Backyard.
Na chivo mashimo. Backyard.
So the dog is outside. I go and check on it. I see a snake. I'll grab my dog and run back to you. And then nikipatana na wewe, you're telling me, I feel a little bit faint. Let me go outside and get like fresh air, you know.
In the gazebo.
Yeah, in the backyard. So at this point, because you're my friend and I care for you, I'll tell you don't go. There's a snake outside. But what would happen if I just let you go and come to you want to go? Fine, go.
Yes, I feel lightheaded.
Utaenda uone nyoka urudi uniambie, you Ingrid, weren't you in the backyard? Yes. Did you see the snake? Yes. Why didn't you warn me? You know.
True.
So you can't see your friend literally falling into a hole. This person, fine, you have met them, you are interested in them, you have begun to care about them. You will make them understand from that perspective of, this is my boundary, because at the end of everything, our goal is this, you know? And it's a matter of time. Not that is the goal, like getting those things is the goal. Like by those things I mean the actual intimacy, the physical intimacy is the goal. But the goal is to have a solid relationship where you get to marriage and you flourish together still under Christ. You know? So that is how I would answer you.
Yeah, have that conversation very early. Yani mkianza tu hivyo
tukikatch feelings tu hivi.
Before feelings.
Ukianza kukatch feelings. That's on you.
Ukajua tu.
Yeah.
Ni huyu.
Ukianza tu kukatch feelings.
So maybe they you know me, me and kissing.
It's not. So are you sure?
Plain black.
Sure.
Sure.
But
Saves a lot of heartache.
probably to add some salt to the previous question about Christian dating looking a bit boring.
Yeah.
From a worldly perspective, it looks boring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
From an unbeliever's eyes, it's
Very.
very boring. But let me tell you,
To Akesha.
Juicy, some friend of mine, a very good friend, Aliniuliza, which is the best conversation we've had together. And as I was remembering, it was a Bible study actually, right? So I imagine that, if I'm dating now and we get to study the word together in an intimate, at that intimate level,
Yeah.
augopi kuonyesha ujinga wako. Ugopi kusema ujui,
Shika 66 books word by word.
Manze.
ni wewe.
Umeshika. Fine.
Happy fire extinguisher.
Kama Homer.
I will
Kama Homer.
tu maswali kwani ni kesho. Leo tu. It's just today.
Speed the red.
Me
Utashika
unajua
tena.
uzuri.
Anything.
I own my truth.
Sikushow.
Sijali.
Kama unajua tu mahali.
Hata nitashika yote.
Okay, Baraka una shout sana.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow. Sorry.
But basically, as a Christian, when you're dating and you get to have spiritual conversations, these are very deep. They are very fulfilling.
Yeah.
When you get to study the word together, it is beautiful. And
Hey.
it is. Let me tell you.
Kwani una reminisce.
Mungu atubariki.
Kidogo nimpigie simu.
Eh,
But
Boom
yeah,
text.
if it's from a worldly perspective, yes, it looks boring.
Yeah.
But as a Christian, it is very beautiful because
Yeah.
again, you're looking towards the future. You're looking towards something greater than the two of you.
Yeah.
Right? You're looking at generations, looking at building nations, at impacting the world together through Christ.
That's what's up.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
wow.
Snap, snap.
There's nothing better in it.
Yes.
Nothing better in
Nothing
it.
better.
Nothing better in it.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now that you have clearly made your boundaries and
Mm.
everything, fine, you have met this person and they
Mm.
have fallen, like they're
Head
they're
over
ticking
heels.
all the boxes.
Oh, come
eh?
on.
All the
Na red
all
pen,
the
kama
boxes.
walimu wa maths.
Eh,
Very
very seriously.
Serious.
Now you have gotten to that part where you are maybe married and living in the same house, or you are newlyweds, sawa sawa. Do you think the old rules, like a woman's place is in the kitchen, man's place is where?
Yeah.
Hunting.
Hustling.
Hunting and
You
gathering.
see,
Hunting
like,
money.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
The sense
Providing.
that the woman is because
house.
there's a difference between submitting
Submission.
to your husband
Yeah.
and
Serving.
yes.
Mm.
So like what is the difference between the two? Do you think the old roles still hold weight as we close?
Yeah, I think it does. I think especially okay, wacha tu niseme
Specific.
personally.
Personally.
Personally, I think because si Bible inasemanga the man looks up to Christ and then the woman looks up to the man. So you can't follow a man who has not submitted to God.
Yes.
You know?
You cannot submit to a man or something.
Yes, you cannot submit to a man who
Yeah.
So,
Christ.
but then a man who has submitted to God, personally, me, I'll follow them blindly
Yeah.
because I know they cannot lead me
That's true.
astray, you know?
Mm.
And so I am for the opinion that women, Christian women, should submit. Then they should, we will serve and submit.
But
I will serve
kukua kitchen
and
is
submit.
submission ama serving kama
hiyo ni savi like
Like
hiyo
si mambo
inaweza
ya
kuacha love
submission.
language.
Not even
Ama.
about that. I'm saying
Mm.
like this. There are particular people who, like my question is specifically on: do you think that the old times roles still apply now? Ile yenye, I'm not talking about submission.
Yeah.
Submission, there's actually no debate about it.
Yeah.
In the
That was
Bible, it is
1%.
submit,
Yeah.
not whether he
Not
does
please,
this, ama
yeah.
whether what. It is submit to your husband. Ndio.
yes.
That one is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the roles, the olden roles. mwanamke kazi yake ni
A woman's
kwa
place is in
nyumba.
the kitchen.
She cannot be
She cannot have
CEO.
dreams,
She
have
cannot
goals,
be-
have a
Eh.
life.
Ni
With your
achunge
children
watoto.
and your home and your husband.
Chakula, yeah.
Na bwana.
Do you think that still
Tricky.
applies?
Don't think so. I don't think so. Partly, maybe, but no, I don't think so. It doesn't personally. So I don't know about you, Baraka.
Yeah, according to me, I think in our day and age, I think those rules shouldn't even have applied in those times. I think there were a way to oppress women in a way whereby women were segregated to the kitchen, to childbearing, to child rearing, and to taking care of the home. And sometimes even today, people say that in order to see a woman's effort, look at their children, look at their husbands, etc. Don't look at their careers. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, look at their families. But to me, yes, there's an aspect because women are caregivers by nature. You get, women are caregivers. Even women who are not dating or in a relationship, mkienda place, women will be worried.
Kila mtu amekula.
Exactly.
yeah.
Have you guys eaten?
Like,
Are you okay? You
Nasikia
get?
baridi.
Like, women naturally are caregivers, and that is their nature. That is their God-given nature, which is a beautiful thing because they care for a home. You get? I usually say, give a woman a house, they give you a home. Give a woman a seed, they give you a child. You get? Women take what you give them and build something extraordinary, but basing their whole existence on that they should remain in the kitchen, give birth and raise children and take care of you as a husband. I think for me that's an old way of thinking. I believe our society today has evolved whereby women can have careers and still take care of their families. Women can have high ranking positions and still take care of their families. You get? Because they can in our society. I think everyone can, and even our society today, there are men who can be stay-at-home dads. You get? It is not if I work from home. You get? If I work from home and my wife goes to the office and we have a child, so mtu yetu akaetu njaa basi since mama yake hayuko mtoto akaetu njaa dedi. Exactly. These are our child, this is our home. You get? And of course a woman will do it better. Akikaa kwanza anaweza tu kukashifu, ukija mbona ulimserve chakula baridi, ona sasa atapata homa. You get? But again, it's a home, and I think a home is what you make it to be. I'm not speaking for other men or other women, I'm speaking for myself, and that is what my home shall be. You get? A marriage is a commitment between two people, two different people coming together and creating their own home. And whatever your beliefs are, as if you accept to be that particular individual who believes that in those particular old ways, or a person who doesn't believe in them, you chose that person. You chose that boat. If it sinks, it sinks. If it floats, it floats. You get? So for me, in my home, I don't believe that I will raise a family in that particular aspect. If my wife wants to have a career, let her have a career. And if she wants to stay at home and raise our kids, I'll allow her to stay at home and raise our kids. Because it is our family. And we shall sit down and have an agreement and say, what can you do? You get? What can you do? If you work at night and I work in the morning, then weka na mtoi usiku, weka na mtoi usiku ndo mimi ni doze. Sasa mimi naendanga job mapema. Sawa? Alafu mimi nikirudi, mimi kaa shift yako ni usiku, mimi nikirudi wewe lalala leo masaa, alafu ende job nitakaa na mtoi. Like that's a home is ni 100% from each particular party. Yeah.
Yes, probably whether the old rules apply. The world has changed. We can't skip the fact it's history. We can't just skip the fact that it happened, right? That women were just kept in the kitchen and taking care of kids alone. But now, with the society we're living in, we have to accept the fact that women bring so much. They do suffer quite a lot. Because if you look at giving birth, the pain, even after giving birth, I hear there's still some conditions, here and there, and they still struggle with the career and raising kids. You know, there's that pressure of leaving your kids with a nanny. You don't want to just leave them like that. There's so much pressure on women that I feel just segregating them to the kitchen is kind of demeaning. But as at right now, how I've even seen my mom and how I've seen other women key women in my life operate is it's important to acknowledge and appreciate what they're doing career wise, that they're not limited to the kitchen. Of course, I'd want my mom to cook chapo for me because hey,
It's
zina
mom.
Zina
slap.
slap hard.
Hey,
Ah,
hey.
where?
Let me tell you, zina slap, and
Mm.
also to avoid this notion of times have changed, so I can't cook for my husband. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It should come with some understanding that see about kupika ama see about chores.
Yeah.
It's about giving 100%, as Baraka said, 100 from each side. See,
Yeah.
50-50, ni 100 from both.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, that's beautiful. So you guys
Yeah,
would
bro.
cook for your wives if they
100%.
not even if they were sick,
100%.
if they're just fine,
100%.
tired or ameamua tu.
100%.
breakfast in bed.
Oh.
Hey.
100%.
Hey.
I'll cook for my wife.
Yeah.
There's no shame. You see, when you are bachelors, we cook at home. You know, hii kitu mi by this day elewa. Because
Sasa ukiolewa.
tukiolewa, all of a sudden, kitchen,
Amesahau kupika.
Kitchen.
Kutumia kisu.
kisu hatu hujui unashika hivi upside down ama unashika. But when you're alone, living alone, you used to cook for yourself. Unapika nyama hatari, food hatari.
Unakuwa chef.
Unakuwa
Mpaka vile kofia white.
Mpaka una imagine,
Ah,
mpaka ukajua kulipika chapo ukiwa solo kwa sababu njaa.
DJ hapo hivyo.
Hadi waamini.
Umepika.
Lakini now since you're married, like we don't know, for me, since I did it to myself, then I'll take care of my wife because she's my wife. Like she's my pride and joy. She's my everything, and I'll ensure.
Your baby girl.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Shaka.
you're making us cry. Wherever you are, look for him.
Mtafute vizuri.
Tafute, anaumia bwana.
Manze. Wow. Nairobi. Yeah.
But also I
Kubariki,
feel like
anavyobariki wengine.
that communion, that if let's say both of us are working, right? Not tufike home, let's say at 6 both of us.
Yeah.
Sasa mimi niekele mguu juu ya kiti. Nieke Chelsea ikipigwa.
Yeah.
Ama Manyu ikanyagwa, ikinyoroshwa as usual. But
Wait, don't get personal. bwana.
but if I go help in the kitchen, let's say nakata viungo, ama ingredients, then she's stirring them because you can have conversations.
Yeah.
It's bonding.
Yeah.
It's bonding. So maximize on the bonding in terms of marriage, in terms of even dating. Wajafika kwa usije kitchen bado while dating, but you can still have bonding sessions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Cute.
Wow, nice. I have a lot of questions, but I am sure we can have a part 2.
Of
Are you
course.
up for it?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
You can have a
see
part
you.
2 for
We
now.
can
It's
have a
a wrap.
part two.
That part 3.
So now, before we go, what would you tell the youth as they are trying to maneuver through these relationships and to find their people out here? Just a small thing about maybe hajapata mtu wake ama maybe akona mtu wake na anaona yenyewe life ni ngumu bwana. Imeanza kuwa boring. What would you tell them?
I'd tell them keep waiting. Hata kama imagine kuna watu wengi walingoja nani ule mse wa 14 years.
Jacob.
Jacob manze
Alingoja.
alidanganywa.
14 years.
Kile ujamaa kwani ni aje angalie msupa wake, yeye ana mari tu.
So who are we, you know?
Alifeel
So
so, right?
Love is blind.
I mean,
Ana fail to show.
Ingelipa
Jamaa
fine.
alituangusha mama.
yeah, so keep waiting. Tunangoja wengi.
Wa.
Mtafute,
pamoja.
mtafute,
Umetacha
anaumia.
tu. Tuko pamoja. To someone who is looking for a partner and hasn't found a partner, pray for your partner. I think that's the best thing you can do. Before you find them, pray for your partner. But most importantly, pray for yourself. Be that partner that someone is looking for. Because you can be praying for a partner and yet you're the wrong person they're looking for. You're still held up in your old ways. You're still doing worldly things. And the woman is praying for a God-fearing man. And you're here not being a God-fearing person or partner. So pray for that partner. Pray that God directs them towards you. And he does. He does. God desires for us to be happy in our marriages. And God cannot pair you with someone that will bring you consistent torment. Because he knows that that home won't fulfill what a marriage will be, and a marriage will be the embodiment of Christ and the church. And that is what marriage is all about. Parents are the first, let's say, God, because when you see your relationship between your father and your mother, then it will be easier for you to understand the relationship between you and God. You'll see the love, and then you'll understand that this is between me and Christ. And if my husband can love, or if my father can love my mother this much, what about a heavenly God? What about a heavenly Father? So pray for your partner, pray for yourself, and don't date because it is cool. It is not. It is quite expensive to date in this economy. So don't date because it is cool. Date because you want to get married to someone amazing.
I would say nimesikiza Baraka mpaka nikapotea haki. Anyway, I would like to talk about if you are in that situation where you maybe felt obliged to not make your boundaries known, or like stand firm in your boundaries as a Christian, or maybe you did not know that such things happen and relationships can be very platonic until you may now kiss the bride. You can still go back to God. You can pray about it. You can repent. You can still find that partner who will be willing to listen to you and be willing to, yani aseme, umesema hapa uvuki, ni sawa. Like ile hata si lazima ulize, Yeah. And anakuja ama kama ako tunawaombea.
Nikumbusha kuna wimbo mpya Zabulon Singers ya Singles. Endeni mtafute. Karibu nilie.
Or Google.
Anyway, to the kijiji, chanishitue kijiji.
But
what I would say is, well, first of all, you said wait. While you're waiting, pray. While you're praying, be ready to be disciplined by God. Be ready to be chastened by God. He's your Father. He knows what you need. He knows that when you get to this stage without being disciplined, without being pruned, as it says in John, you're going to mess up. So be ready, be willing to be pruned by God. And also, when that relationship is costing you your dignity, it's costing you your morals, it's costing you your spirituality, be like the good man Yusufu. Run, flee. Acha hiyo koti ya yenye kwa multicolored, kimbia. Sometimes fleeing is a better option for you than trying to fight, trying to stay nice. If it's costing you much, kimbia. Yes, that's all.
And that was all we had for this episode. We'll have a part 2 very soon. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.